We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umuganwa. The headlines. President Paul Kagame today received 2 Coventry University dons at Village Urugwiro. Prime Minister Edward Ngirente has called upon potential investors from different corners of the world to consider the Rwandan market and explore the business opportunities present in the country. Ellen DeGeneres has announced the official opening of the Ellen DeGeneres campus of Dan Fossey Gorilla Fund in Rwanda. The Victoria and Albert Museum has announced the Africa Fashion Exhibition. Now the news in detail. President Paul Kagame today received Vice Chancellor and CEO of Coventry University Group, Professor John Latham, along with Regional MD of Coventry University Africa Hub, Professor Silas Rakabamba. The 2 Coventry University dons called on President Paul Kagame at his offices in Kashuru, Kigali City. And later in the afternoon, President Paul Kagame virtually chaired the 39th session of the African Union Development Agency Heads of State and Government Orientation Committee. Youth representatives from different parts of the country visited Rwanda Liberation Trail beginning from Kagitumba in Nyagatare district. They believe they have an important role to play in protecting what has been achieved by their elder brothers who liberated the country and stopped the genocide against the Tutsi. The Liberation Museum guide told young people visiting that the start for the struggle for national liberation was that in Rwanda there was a bad government which encouraged discrimination. The youth representatives therefore decided that it is necessary to defend the values of courage and dedication in the pursuit of the reconstruction of the country. Since 2020, a project was launched to build 8 sites along the Liberation Trail that embody the great history of liberation of Rwanda. The project, which is expected to be completed by 2024, is to be implemented in collaboration with various institutions. Prime Minister Edward Ngirente has called upon potential investors from different corners of the world to consider the Rwandan market and explore the business opportunities present in the country. He made the remarks while officiating Rwanda's National Heroes Day that was celebrated on February 1st as part of the ongoing Dubai Expo 2020 in the United Arab Emirates.
I also want to use this opportunity to appreciate the existing good bilateral relationship between Rwanda and your country. Our strong cooperation has given birth to joint programs promoting knowledge exchange, and partnerships, which have been proven important in driving trade and investment in various sectors of the economy. These include real estate, logistics, agriculture, horticulture, tourism and hospitality, and air transport, as well as healthcare and manufacturing industries. Excellencies, distinguished guests, the theme of Expo Dubai 2020, which is connecting minds and creating the future, is relevant. It offers a unique opportunity for countries to showcase diversity and potential, as well as foster strategic partnership for mutual benefits. The Expo Dubai 2020 is also an important platform for governments and business leaders to connect and discuss practical ways to attract investments. Today, as we gather with all of you to showcase Rwanda's culture and attractions, we also pay tribute to people who exemplified their highest values of patriotism, sacrificing for the well-being of our people. This day marks our National Heroes Day. It also symbolizes the start of Rwanda's recovery and development journey. Rwanda has emerged as one of Africa's fastest growing economies for the last 2 decades, till before COVID-19 pandemic. It achieved an average growth rate close to 8%. It also arose as the second easiest place to start and do business in Africa. Supported by unique homegrown initiatives and solutions, and strong values of self-reliance, dignity, and hard work, Rwanda has achieved remarkable development gains. Rwanda has emerged as one of Africa's fastest growing economies for the last 2 decades, till before COVID-19 pandemic. It achieved an average growth rate close to 8%. It also arose as the second easiest place to start and do business in Africa. Rwanda has further established a universal health insurance system for all Rwandans, positioning itself as a leading tourism destination in the region, and is an emerging proof of concept destination for innovators. Even though the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted our economy in 2020, just as it did for the world economy, Rwanda registered a growth rate of 10.2% in 2021, and we are now projecting this year to grow at 7.2% minimum. This is possible thanks to programs and initiatives put in place by the government. One of the lessons we have learned from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic is the importance of collaboration, innovation, and cooperation. We believe that these are important tools to help nations fight against the spread of COVID-19 and its negative impacts on the recovery process globally. It's in this regard that we welcome you to visit our pavilion and explore further opportunities for investment in technology and innovation, financial services, education, health, renewable energy, as well as many other sectors in Rwanda.
Prime Minister Edward Ngirente speaking at the Rwanda National Heroes Day celebration in Dubai. According to official statistics, since its debut, the Rwandan Pavilion at Expo 2020 Dubai has managed to attract 300,000 visitors and served over 70,000 cups of coffee to date. The visitors included prominent global figures, including ministers of different countries in Africa and beyond. To celebrate the World Wetlands Day, the Minister of Local Government, Gatabazi Jean-Marie Vianney, met Minister of Environment, Dr. Mujawamariya Jeanne d'Arc, United Nations Development Programme Resident Representative, Maxwell Gomera, World Bank Country Manager, Roland Price, and other institutions involved in environment to discuss wetlands in Kigali City. They discussed the current and emerging actions, including partnership to scale up investment in the sustainable use, management and restoration of degraded wetlands. The National Institute of Statistics Rwanda has announced that through the Department of Demographic and Social Statistics intends to conduct a training workshop on gender statistics for local government staff working in the planning and gender of all 30 districts. The objective of this training workshop is to build capacity of participants in gender statistics production, interpretation and use, and therefore have a common understanding regarding interpretation and use of available gender statistics data in the planning processes. By the end of this training workshop, staff involved in the planning process at district level will be equipped with capacity to understand gender statistic concepts and indicators and learn how gender statistics data can be used in district planning. Ellen DeGeneres has announced the official opening of the Ellen DeGeneres campus of Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund in Rwanda. The campus is a state-of-the-art research facility for scientists from all around the world to advance conservation, and tourists can learn about gorillas. Ellen confirmed the news during her talk show, The Ellen Show.
I have some very, very exciting news. Very exciting news. So 4 years ago, my wife, Portia, gave me the most amazing birthday gift that you could ever possibly imagine. Growing up, my hero was Dian Fossey because of what she did to bring awareness to the mountain gorillas. I remember reading National Geographic and seeing Dian Fossey, this woman in the jungle with gorillas, and I was like, oh my God, what an incredible human being. I'm 12 years old. I'm just thinking, so when Portia and I first met, I was telling her that's what I would do if I didn't do this. So Portia, for my birthday, wanted to build a campus in Rwanda to help continue Dian's work. And today, yeah, how about it? So today, 4 years later, I'm happy to announce the official opening of the Ellen DeGeneres campus of the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund. So this campus, it's going to be amazing. It's a place for everyone to visit. It's state-of-the-art research facilities for scientists and researchers from all around the world to advance gorilla conservation, and tourists can learn about gorillas. There's a 360-degree theater that people can go in to learn all about the gorillas. It's just so much more going on, and when I see my name next to Dian Fossey's name on this campus that we built is such an honor, and that is in Rwanda. And you know, I want her legacy to continue to help the gorillas in the country of Rwanda, which is such a beautiful country, because she had such an impact on me when I was a little girl. So I'm hoping that I can inspire other people to make a difference as well, not just with gorillas, but other endangered species. And I hope that you get a chance to go to Rwanda and go see that and go see the gorillas, because it is a life-changing experience. So try to do that.
Ellen DeGeneres speaking. Now some items of international news. Kenya has decided to lock out petrol and diesel-powered buses from the Bus Rapid Transport Project. The Bus Rapid Transport Project is a project that will be launched on Thika and Mombasa roads in Kenya's capital Nairobi from June this year as part of government efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Only electric and some hybrid vehicles which use a mixture of electric and fossil fuel, and those that use biofuels like hydrogen and biogas, will be deployed on the dedicated lane for large capacity buses to ease traffic congestion. According to environmental experts, fossil fuel powered cars, buses and matatus emit a big share of the carbon dioxide daily. President Umaro Sissoco Embalo of Guinea-Bissau on Tuesday said he survived heavy fire for 5 hours during an attempted coup, which he claimed killed and injured many people. Earlier on Tuesday, sustained gunfire was heard near the seat of government in what the African Union called an attempted coup. Heavily armed men had surrounded the Palace of Government, where President Embalo and Prime Minister Nuno Gomes Nabiam were believed to have been attending a cabinet meeting. President Embalo said the failed coup was linked to decisions he had taken to fight drug trafficking and corruption. Based on the trajectory of the COVID-19 pandemic and the levels of vaccination in South Africa, the government decided that those who test positive for COVID-19 with no symptoms no longer have to enter into isolation. Those who do exhibit symptoms will be required to isolate, but the isolation period has been reduced from 10 days to 7 days. However, the relaxed rules do not give complete freedom. In cases where someone tests positive, has symptoms, and refuses to be treated or enter isolation, the government may get a warrant to force them to do so. Mali on Monday gave the French ambassador 72 hours to leave the country after describing comments by the French foreign minister about its transitional government as hostile and outrageous in a statement read on national television. In a statement later on Monday, France's Foreign Affairs Ministry said it was recalling its ambassador from Mali following the country's decision to expel the envoy. France has begun lifting coronavirus restrictions, including mandatory outdoor mask wearing, in a bid to ease citizens' daily lives, dividing opinion as the country only last month reported record COVID-19 infections. Audience capacity limits for concert halls, sporting matches and other events were also removed, and although home working will no longer be mandated, it is still recommended. The move begins a two-part relaxation of curbs announced at the end of January, despite the country hitting record levels of daily cases last month, and comes as England and Denmark also eased their restrictions. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday accused the United States and its allies of ignoring Russia's top security demands, but said Moscow is willing to talk more to ease tensions over Ukraine. Putin says it's possible to negotiate an end to the standoff if the interests of all parties, including Russia's security concerns, are taken into account. He hopes they will eventually find a solution, although it's not going to be easy. Putin said the Western allies' refusal to meet Russia's demands violates their obligations on the integrity of security of all nations. He warned that Ukrainian accession to NATO could lead to a situation where Ukraine launches military action to reclaim control over Russian-annexed Crimea or areas controlled by Russia in the country's east. Pfizer on Tuesday asked the U.S. to authorize extra low doses of its COVID-19 vaccine for children under 5, potentially opening the way for the very youngest Americans to start receiving shots as early as March. In an extraordinary move, the Food and Drug Administration had urged Pfizer and its partner BioNTech to apply earlier than the companies had planned, and before it settled if the youngsters will need 2 shots or 3. The nation's 19 million children under 5 are the only group not yet eligible for vaccination against coronavirus. Many parents have been pushing for an expansion of shots to toddlers and preschoolers, especially as the Omicron variant sent record numbers of youngsters to the hospital. The Victoria and Albert Museum has announced the Africa Fashion Exhibition. Coming to the V&A in London this summer is Africa Fashion, a groundbreaking exhibition featuring 45 designers from over 20 countries who will together celebrate the creativity and culture from the world's second largest continent. Over 250 objects will be on display for the exhibition launching in July, with approximately half of these drawn from the museum's collection, including 17 new acquisitions.
African fashion is something that's existed forever. African fashion is the future. African fashion is now.
We'll be showcasing over 250 objects drawn from a selection of mid-20th century designers and also designers from the contemporary African fashion scene.
I'm one of the part of the designers, the African generation, reimagining the Africa fashion scene.
It was so important that we highlight this alternate African identity.
I feel like now more than ever, African designers are really taking charge of their own narrative and and telling people authentic stories.
Africa fashion means the past, the future, and the present in the same time.
There's just so much possibility.
This exhibition is important because for the very first time, fashion from the continent will be viewed from a diverse perspective which spans centuries.
Many of the garments on display are from the personal archives of a selection of iconic mid-20th century African designers, namely Sheikh Thomas Pham, Chris Saidu, Kofi Ansa, and Al Fadi, marking the first time their work will be shown in a London museum. The exhibition will also celebrate influential contemporary African fashion creatives, including Imena Yisi, Iyamisigo, Motions, Tebe Magugu, and Sindiso Kumalo. Africa Fashion will showcase these objects and the stories behind them, alongside personal insights from the designers, together with sketches, editorial spreads, photographs, film, and catwalk footage. The review of Rwanda Stock Exchange on 2nd February 2022. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 24,103,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 4 deals on the fixed income market, and 50,000 Rwandan francs from 200 shares traded in 1 deal on the equities market. Bank of Kigali counter closed at 250. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 50,000 Rwandan francs from 200 shares traded in 1 deal. I&M Bank closed the counter at 45 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, M10 Rwanda at 180 Rwandan francs, Bredwa at 150 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchuri Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, RH Buffalo at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. Currency market review today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.8 Rwandan francs and selling price was 9 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43 and selling price was 0.44 Rwandan francs. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.28 Rwandan francs and selling price was 0.29 Rwandan francs. Burundian franc buying price was 0.5 Rwandan francs and selling price was 0.51 Rwandan francs. The US dollar buying price was 1,002 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,022 Rwandan francs. The British pound buying price was 1,355 Rwandan francs and selling price was 1,382 Rwandan francs. The euro buying price was 1,130 Rwandan francs and selling price was 1,153 Rwandan francs. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.